Hey there, my friend. Welcome back to English Uncovered. I'm really happy you're here today because I've got a little story for you, something that happened to me last week. And while I tell you this story, I want you to listen carefully because you're not just going to hear a story, you're going to learn real English, the kind of English people actually use every single day. Ready? Okay, let's start. So, last week, I went to the store and bought a new computer. Yeah, finally. I had been thinking about buying one for months because my old laptop was just too slow. Every time I tried to record or edit something, it froze. You know that feeling, right? When your computer decides to update right when you have something important to do? Yeah, that's exactly what I was dealing with. So I said to myself, that's it. I need a new one. Now, before I continue, let's pause for a second. Did you notice the first sentence I said? Last week, I went to the store and bought a new computer. Simple, right? But this one sentence has a lot of useful English. The first thing I want you to notice is the verb went. It's the past tense of go. So in the present, we say, I go to the store. But when we talk about the past, we say, I went to the store. Easy? Yeah. Go, went. Then I said, bought. That's the past of buy. So, I buy a computer becomes I bought a computer. It's an irregular verb. It doesn't take that simple ed ending. You just have to remember it. Went and bought. Two simple, super common verbs you'll hear all the time. All right, let's get back to the story. So, I walked into the store, and you know how it goes. There are computers everywhere. Big screens, small screens, shiny ones that light up like a Christmas tree. And the guy who works there comes up to me and says, "Hey, can I help you find something?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm looking for a new computer, something fast, something powerful, something that won't die on me when I'm in the middle of editing." He smiled. That kind of sales smile, the one that says, "Oh, I've got just the thing for you." He takes me to this section with all these fancy models, and then he points at one and says, "This one here, it's new, it's fast, it's got a great processor." I look at the price tag, and my eyes almost pop out of my head. Guess how much it cost? $2,000. $2,000. Now, let's stop for a second here because there's something interesting in that sentence too. I said, guess how much it cost? $2,000. Did you hear how I said cost, not costed? The verb cost is the same in the present and in the past. We say, it costs $500, or it cost $500 last year. No change. Cool, right? And also, pay attention to the number. In English, we write it with a comma, 2000, but in many other countries, people use a period. So in some places, 2.000 means 2000, not 2. Tiny details, but they matter when you're reading prices. Anyway, I stood there looking at that $2,000 price tag, and I thought, wow, that's expensive. I mean, for a computer? But at the same time, I really needed it. So I said, all right, let's do it. I gave him my card, and a few minutes later, I walked out of the store with a big box in my hands, my brand new computer.
Let me ask you something. Do you see how easy it is to learn English when it's part of a story? You're not just memorizing grammar rules, you're hearing real phrases in real situations. That's how people actually speak. For example, notice how I said, guess how much it cost. That's a supernatural expression. We say that when we're about to reveal something surprising, maybe the price, maybe a result, or something unexpected. You could say, guess what happened? Guess who I met? Or guess how long it took? It's always the same structure. Guess plus question word plus sentence. Try to use that next time you tell a story. All right, back to my computer adventure. So, I got home, opened the box, and started setting it up. And let me tell you, it looked amazing. Shiny, fast, smooth keyboard, big screen. You know that excitement when you buy something new? That little voice in your head saying, yes, finally! That was me. But then another voice in my head said, did I really just spend $2,000 on this? I can't believe I paid that much. This computer has everything. It's fast, powerful, and can do anything I want it to. And yeah, I couldn't believe it. So I said in the story, I can't believe I paid that much. Notice that. Paid is the past of pay. Simple but useful. So now you've got 4 verbs from this story already. Go, went, buy, bought, pay, paid, cost, cost. These are super common when you talk about shopping or buying things. And because you've just heard them in a real story, they'll stick in your mind much longer. By the way, when I said, I can't believe I paid that much, that's a really natural way to express surprise or frustration in English. You could also say, I can't believe I said that, or I can't believe I did that, or I can't believe it happened. All of them express the same emotion, disbelief. Now, let's take one more little look at the last part of that paragraph. This computer has everything. It's fast, powerful, and can do anything I want it to. That's what I said. It's a great example of how we use adjectives to describe things. Fast, powerful, and then a modal verb, can. It can do anything I want it to. Did you hear that tiny little to at the end? That's a real piece of spoken English. People often drop it or say it softly, like, I want it to. Native speakers connect words like that all the time. So don't worry if you don't always hear the to clearly. It's just connected speech. See? You're already learning a lot just from one little story. And that's the beauty of this method. You don't need to study hundreds of grammar pages or memorize long lists of words. You just need to listen, notice, and repeat. Real stories, real English, simple lessons hidden inside. All right, that's how the story begins. Me, a guy who just wanted a new computer and ended up spending $2,000. But trust me, the story doesn't end there. In the next part, I'll tell you what happened after I brought it home and how this amazing computer gave me one of the biggest headaches of the year. I want you to tell me in the comments, what's the most expensive thing you've ever bought? And was it worth it?